Jolly Tripper presents the 10 most beautiful cities in the world. Number 10, Rome. Rome is the capital of Italy and has a population of 2.8 million. According to legend, Rome City was founded by the twins Romulus and Remus in 753 BCE. The city is located on the banks of the river Tiber and was founded on top of 7 hills. Interesting facts. Modern Rome has 280 fountains and more than 900 churches. Nearly 700,000 euros worth of coins are tossed into Rome's Trevi fountain each year. The proceeds are donated to Caritas to help those in need. Law in Rome allows cats to live without disruption in the place they were born. Wild cats can be climbing the walls of the Colosseum and sleeping among the ruins of the Forum. Things to do. Pompeii and the Amalfi Coast. It is beloved for its gorgeous coastline, opulent architecture, world-class seafood and awesome nightlife, while the more somber Pompeii is any ancient history lover's dream visit, with the ruins of a Roman city buried under ash and pumice spewed from the top of the raging Mount Vesuvius in AD 79. The Colosseum. Make seeing the Colosseum an essential part of your trip in Rome. This amphitheater in the center of the city was the largest ever built, taking almost a decade to construct during the Flavian dynasty. It's one of Rome's most popular tourist attractions, with over 4 million visitors a year. Trevi Fountain. Famous for its intricate artwork decorated in the Baroque style, the Trevi Fountain has plenty of history and detail attached to it. Being one of the best structures remaining that showcase the skills in the ancient Romans' craftsmanship. Number 9, Sydney. Sydney, city, capital of the state of New South Wales, Australia. Located on Australia's southeastern coast, Sydney is the country's largest city and, with its magnificent harbour and strategic position, is one of the most important ports in the South Pacific. Interesting facts. The Sydney Harbour Bridge is one of the longest steel arch bridges in the world, spanning about 1,650 feet, which is especially impressive considering it was built in the 1930s. Sydney has more than 100 beaches. Choose from over 100 beaches around the city to enjoy adventurous water sports including surfing, diving, kayaking, stand-up paddle boarding, and jet boat rides. One of the most spectacular annual events in Sydney is Vivid Sydney, a festival of lights. Held from May to June, the Sydney Opera House and the Sydney Harbour Bridge are turned into light art for visitors and Sydneysiders, a nickname for Sydney locals, to enjoy. Things to do. Sydney Opera House. One of the most iconic buildings in the world, the Sydney Opera House is an architectural masterpiece and vibrant performance space. Its significance is based on its unparalleled design and construction, its exceptional engineering achievements and technological innovation, and its position as a world-famous icon of architecture. Darling Harbour. From fireworks and tropical fish to tranquil gardens and theatre, Darling Harbour is Sydney's must-visit destination, a melting pot of unique experiences for people of all ages. The Royal Botanic Garden Sydney. The Royal Botanic Garden Sydney is a major botanical garden located in the heart of Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. Opened in 1816, the garden is the oldest scientific institution in Australia and one of the most important. Number 8, San Francisco. It may measure less than 50 square miles and have a population that doesn't even crack a million, but San Francisco justly ranks as one of the greatest cities in the world. Famous for Grand Dame Victorians, cable cars, a dynamic waterfront, and a soaring golden bridge, this city truly has it all. Interesting facts. San Francisco has the second largest Chinatown outside of Asia. It's also the oldest in North America. It is around 1 mile long by 1.5 miles wide. More than 100,000 people live in Chinatown. It's the most densely populated neighborhood in the city. A San Francisco fun fact that might surprise you is the fact that the famous Central Park in New York City is smaller than San Francisco's glorious Golden Gate Park by 20%. Central Park in New York covers 778 acres, while Golden Gate Park is 1,017 acres. San Francisco's cable cars are the only national historical monument that can move. The cables that pull the cars run at a constant speed of 9.5 miles per hour. Things to do. Golden Gate Bridge. Visiting the world-famous Golden Gate Bridge is a unique experience for everyone. Whether you hike, walk, bike, shop, take a guided tour, or just sit back and take it all in, there is something for everyone. Alcatraz Island. No trip to San Francisco is possibly complete without visiting Alcatraz Island. A former prison, it is now a popular tourist destination. Located on Fisherman's Wharf, Alcatraz is a short ferry ride away from Pier 33. In 1933, it became a federal prison, and during its 29 years, it housed notable criminals such as Al Capone and Mickey Cohen. Home to San Francisco originals, live performances, excellent dining, incredible views, and close proximity to a number of other attractions. It's no wonder that Pier 39 is second only to Alcatraz among our city's most visited destinations. Number 7, Cape Town. Cape Town is a modern, cosmopolitan city surrounded by nature. Centered around Table Mountain, one of the new 7 wonders of the world, the mother city is known for its beautiful beaches, stunning biodiversity, award-winning food and wine, and sheer variety of experiences on offer. Interesting facts. Cape Town was the first city outside of Europe to see its beaches certified as Blue Flag, meaning they meet high environmental and quality standards. Cape Town is one of the world's youngest cities. The average age is just 29 years, compared to 40 in Brussels and 36 in London. After years of apartheid, it was the balcony of Cape Town City Hall where Nelson Mandela made his first public speech in decades. He spoke just hours after being released from prison on February 11, 1990. Things to do. The V&A Waterfront. The V&A Waterfront is one of Africa's most visited destinations, with almost 24 million visitors annually. It is situated in the oldest working harbor in the southern hemisphere, with the iconic Table Mountain as its backdrop and extensive views of the ocean, city bowl, and mountain peaks. Table Mountain. Easily the city's most recognizable landmark, Table Mountain towers over Cape Town just south of the city center. Number 6, Barcelona. Barcelona contains both the authentically historic and the wildly bizarre. From the scenic trails of the colorful Park Güell to the romantic narrow alleys of Barri Gòtic, from the beachside nightclubs to the city's dozens of sacred churches and architectural marvels, this city by the sea seems to attract all types. Interesting facts. Barcelona is one of the world's major cities where smoking cannabis is legal. Home to over 700 cannabis clubs, it's no surprise Spain is often referred to as Holland of the South. Barcelona could have been home to the Eiffel Tower. Spain rejected Gustave Eiffel's initial plan, deciding that it was too radical and did not fit the city's aesthetics. Barcelona is the only recipient of the Royal Gold Medal for architecture. In 1999, Barcelona became the only city to be awarded the prestigious Gold Medal for architecture by the Royal Institute of British Architects. Things to do. La Sagrada Familia. The Sagrada Familia Museum is also found inside the basilica, and here you will see historical drawings, figures, and pictures of the Sagrada Familia's evolution from its beginnings in 1882. Park Güell. Park Güell is a sprawling wonderland of colorful mosaics and nature-inspired architecture. It's famous for being one of architect Antoni Gaudi's greatest creations. La Boqueria. La Boqueria is Barcelona's biggest fresh food market, and one of the biggest in Spain and in Europe. It's a must-visit for anyone who enjoys food, boasting 330 stalls spread out over 2,500 square meters that sell some of the highest quality products you can find. Number 5, Vancouver. With its scenic views, mild climate, and friendly people, Vancouver is known around the world as both a popular tourist attraction and one of the best places to live. Interesting facts. Vancouver is also called Hollywood of the North. In North America, the city comes second after Los Angeles in TV production and third in feature film production. The cosmetic treatment Botox was invented in Vancouver. Things to do. Stanley Park. Featuring lovely beaches, miles of well-maintained paved and dirt trails, and an array of can't-miss kid-friendly spots, including a pool, water park, miniature railway, and more, this 400-hectare, 1,000-acre haven is recognized as one of the greatest urban parks in the world. Capilano Suspension Bridge. The suspended walkway is cantilevered from the granite cliffs flanking the Capilano River, carrying you out and over the rainforest and river below. The views of the river, forest and even a little waterfall are stunning. Queen Elizabeth Park. Queen Elizabeth Park, Vancouver's horticultural jewel, is a major draw for floral display enthusiasts and view seekers, and as a popular backdrop for wedding photos. At 125 m above sea level, it's the highest point in Vancouver and makes for spectacular views of the park, city, and mountains on the North Shore. Number 4, Venice. Venice, Italy is an Italian city located in the northeast of the state. Venice, Venezia in Italian, is best known for its beauty, canals, architecture, and art. Interesting facts. There are 177 canals in Venice. The S-shaped Grand Canal is the biggest and splits the city in two. There are no cars in Venice. Once you reach the city center, you won't spot any cars. Boats essentially take the place of cars in central Venice, and canals take the place of roads. Venice is known for its lace and glass. Specifically, Venice's most famous handcrafted lace comes from the outlying island of Burano, while the best of its iconic glass is made on the outlying island of Murano. Things to do. Rialto Bridge. You should not miss the most magnificent views from the Rialto Bridge. These views are the most quintessential images of Venice. Tourists visit the bridge, take photographs of it, and enjoy the picturesque views from it and spend time watching the panoramic scene. St. Mark's Square. St. Mark's Square is an open space that connects the south side of the square with the lagoon. The area is incredibly beautiful and interesting, and certainly a must-see. St. Mark's Square is the largest and most important square in Venice and one of the most famous in all of Italy, inspiring even Napoleon, who ended up calling it the Salon of Europe. Libreria Acqua Alta. The self-proclaimed most beautiful bookstore in the world is composed of a number of overstuffed rooms stacked wall-to-wall with books, magazines, and maps. Due to Venice's constant flooding, however, these picturesque piles are all placed inside bathtubs, waterproof bins, and in one room of full-size gondola. Number 3, London. Divided by the River Thames, London, England, is a mix of the cutting-edge alternative, vibrant diversity, and quintessential English tradition. Grand displays of British architecture mingle with towering glass skyscrapers to give the city a regal, yet modern appeal. Interesting facts. London is the smallest city in England. The City of London covers only 1.2 square miles and has a population of around 7,500 residents. As such, the City of London is actually the smallest city in England. Over than 300 languages are spoken in London. Expats coming from different nationalities share a large proportion of its population, which enumerates around 8.7 million residents. Big Ben isn't actually called Big Ben. This world-famous landmark is actually named the Elizabeth Tower. Big Ben is the name of the bell that lives inside. Things to do. Buckingham Palace. The King's official London residence and a working royal palace. Buckingham Palace is recognized around the world as the home of the monarch, the focus of national and royal celebrations, as well as the backdrop to the regular changing the guard ceremony. Tower Bridge. Tower Bridge will transport you to Victorian London, telling the story of the city's defining landmark from the very beginning. Discover iconic London views from the walkways, dare yourself to walk across the spectacular glass floors, and marvel at the feat of Victorian engineering inside the engine rooms. The London Eye. The London Eye is the only attraction offering a constantly changing 360-degree perspective of central London. See London from the river, from the tops of the buildings, and from 404 feet high, all in one visit. Number 2, New York City. With a globally recognizable skyline and 8.4 million people who call it home, New York City is bursting with diversity and excitement. From the iconic attractions you've seen on TV and in the movies to hidden gems waiting to be uncovered. Interesting facts. More than 800 languages are spoken in New York City, making it the most linguistically diverse city in the world. Oysters were so popular in New York in the 19th century that the shells were used to pave Pearl Street. They were also used for lime for the masonry of the Trinity Church. The first pizzeria in the United States opened in NYC in 1895. Since the 1960s, the price of a slice of pizza has been roughly the same price as a subway ride, generating the idea of pizza principle among economists. Things to do. Central Park. The first public park in the nation, Central Park is still where New Yorkers go to get a breath of fresh air and recharge. And they're not alone, thanks to its varied terrain, lush meadows, exposed bedrock, wild woodlands, lakes, gardens, and a reservoir. The park bursts with biodiversity, including rare flora and fauna. The Metropolitan Museum of Art. The Metropolitan Museum of Art, or the Met, is one of the world's most famous art museums, containing a world-class collection of art from ancient to contemporary times. The Statue of Liberty. Visiting Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty is an inspiring, striking experience. As dual symbols of freedom and hope, these incredible monuments and their museums give proof to the story of immigration and recognize the human spirit of our nation's ideals. Number 1, Paris. Paris is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. It is known worldwide for the Louvre Museum, Notre Dame Cathedral, and the Eiffel Tower. It has a reputation of being a romantic and cultural city. The city is also known for its high-quality gastronomy and the terraces of its cafes. Interesting facts. There are at least 3 replicas of the Statue of Liberty in Paris. The most famous of them exists on an island in the middle of the Seine and looks towards her sister statue in New York. There are 0 stop signs in Paris. In a place which is legendary for its inconsiderate driving, it may shock you to discover that there are no stop signs in the entirety of the city. There is an annual bread festival in Paris. Traditionally, and in normal circumstances, there is a yearly bread festival held in the very center of Paris whereby all things carb-related are celebrated. Things to do. The Eiffel Tower. People flock to the Eiffel Tower to take pictures in front of its classic facade, to enjoy the amazing views from the observation decks inside, and to see its dazzling nightly light shows. It's also the focal point of many important events, including Paris Bastille Day and New Year's fireworks celebrations. The Louvre Museum. The Louvre Museum in Paris is the world's most visited and largest art museum. Located on the right bank of the River Seine in the heart of Paris, it is the perfect example of French Baroque architecture. Best known as the home to the Mona Lisa, the museum has the most impressive art collection in the world. The Palace of Versailles. The palace offers an incredible insight into French history, illuminating the lavish and ostentatious lives the former monarchs used to live. Over 10 million people visit this extravagant palace each year. After the Eiffel Tower, it's the most popular attraction in the country. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like and ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos.